Hey, it's Craig. I didn't plan on making a video, but my inbox is so incredibly full of hate mail and fan mail kind of deal that I can't stand it. But at the same time, um, you remember, what was it, Hancock? He's like, call me crazy one more time, kind of thing. Uh, I don't sound, I don't care to sound crazy. I know it's absolutely for the standard mainstream, mass man out there. I sound bat crap crazy. I do. I own it. I stand on it. I will die on that hill. That's my hill. You keep your eyes off of it. But anywho, for all those that, because what's funny is the same people doing this, also I find my content that they have rebranded and coming out of their mouth on their channel kind of thing. Like, I don't know. And even then, I don't care because the content that I deliver is encoded to resonate with the spiritual mainframe as far as the interconnectivity for interconnected consciousness. So all they're doing is helping me get my job done in the first place. But that's my big secret. And they probably don't even understand what I'm saying right now. But anyways, spread around there, Big John. Anywho, I will tell you what my big secret is. This is my villain origin story. Is I was born into a family that really wasn't a family. My dad was a mason, an alcoholic, and a drug addict, and just into all kinds of stuff that you probably can't imagine if you're a chosen or you get gang stalked or any of the other awesomeness that comes along with being destined for the spiritual roadway. But as I grew up, I had intentional run ins with otherworldly entities and bad synchronicities that would sabotage and break my life down to nothing over and over and over again. To where I had to rebuild through circumstances that were clearly and obviously meant to not only destroy my character and my reputation, but to completely crush my spirit, kind of deal, to the point that it drove me to suicide multiple times. And lo and behold, I couldn't die. I mean, I have drowned, I have overdosed, I have shot myself, I've done all kinds of things that just should have been in a box, but somehow just not in the cards. Nope. So that's psychosis note level 1, and for whoever wants, power of attorney over me, which I'm sure that's already occurred at some point in my life, but I don't care. But then having my ego shattered and going through humiliation rituals and all the other things that you get targeted for the energy that you carry as a child of God, eventually gave me a level of awareness to where I developed the ability to think about my thinking about my thinking about my thinking, to where I have 4 layers of observers inside of my skull, so I can change my thought patterns, feelings, observations, and perspectives on the fly, kind of deal. This made me hypersensitive to the energy coursing through my veins, the emotional direction, the sacred geometry that makes up your thought patterns, etc., and so forth, to the point that I started having genuine contact with God and Source. And once I started to know God, I kept good character through these trials. I was forgiving to my enemies. I was loving even though I should have been bitter. I was kind even though I had been betrayed. I was understanding even though I was misunderstood. Values are important. It's not necessarily the ethics behind it, but it's the positive motive, because motive is absolutely everything. And from it being consistently proven under extreme circumstances, I was led up the tree of life, like Kabbalah style, quite literally. And then they're like, hey, do you really want to go farther with this? And I said, hell, I've already gone this far, why not a little more, kind of deal. So they took me through the Qeefoth, the tree of death. That was absolutely hell incarnate. And then I was fortunate enough to be satanically sacrificed, like I died, kind of deal. And hell is a frequency more than it is a location. It's not the whole, like, grab your torch and pitchforks and there's lava, bro. That's not it. That's not it. I am talking actual spiritual, energetic, phasic hell. to the point that your memory gets altered to where you're unaware that you're there. But somehow or another, I retained enough memory as things went on that I realized I was in hell. But somehow, through the grace of God of whatever He instilled in me, I was able to retain my character and my heart where I was in actual hell. The real one. The one that, they try to scare you into heaven with. So the powers that be recognized this and gave me another shot. And I was restored to the same point in my timeline that I had passed away. So when I came back, it was kind of like big news kind of deal. So I got the attention of the same people that's been, because I started out as a Gateway Process kid, and then had, I jokingly say I had MK Ultra as a babysitter, but that's quite literally the truth, amongst other unbelievable crap I've been involved with over the years. But it started giving me spiritual ranking because I had proven character under extreme circumstances so many times. So then we have gang stalking on top of that, which is just really a developmental tool and a tool of extermination, depending on how you look at it. But the only way it can exterminate you is if you exterminate yourself. Otherwise, it's meant to get you in line or grow you. It's a purification process, or a down boy, I need you to behave. One of those. So instead of letting that break me, especially, after you kind of graduate from hell itself, it was kind of a walk in the park kind of thing. I got an unnatural, shameful amount of jollies from the whole gang stalking experience, especially when I figured out they can't really do much and it's all illusion, so it's just like a wild ride that you didn't sign up for. So that started allowing my awareness to expand to where I became familiar with the energetic and spiritual realms. And since my character had been proven, I started getting friends from both sides of the fence. The demons that I conquered are suddenly watching my back. The angels that were watching over me are suddenly watching my back and fucking getting along with the same ones that try to smoke me. My enemies, seeing that they couldn't break me, ended up being some of my best friends. Kind of deal. Like my granddad, when he was alive, never met a stranger. Me personally, I've never really met an enemy. I've got plenty of haters, but if you get to know me, you'll like me and you'll hate yourself for it. But as time went on, it turns out because, things exist because people believe they do. That's the basics of it. It's a really deep subject, and that's a whole different video. But the various, gods, deities, entities, including Jesus himself, all have my back. So anytime people are using, frequency weaponry or magic or otherwise, and then the anointing I carry on top of that makes me pretty much immune to everything. And then when you walk long enough and you get really serious enough that you're willing to die for it, because that's the stage where I'm at. That's one of the reasons I'm willing to talk like this. And I can back it up, son. You end up developing abilities and talents and gifts and all this other stuff that just gets you put on a watch list, and Big Brother really watches out for you in a real big way, like random hamburgers when you're hungry or people interviewing you for no reason. Nice guys, I like their badges. But regardless, that's how I do it. I have respect from every echelon of the spiritual realm there is. And the people that know me, they know I'm not bullshitting about it. Especially my roommates, my haters, and the other people that actually matter in this storyline. So, one thing I'll warn you about is I am a professional shit magnet. If you come into my energy field and you want to smoke, I don't even personally have to lift a finger. I can play the coward, or I can play disinterested, or I can throw it if I need to. But the amount of instant karma, and I don't mean karma down the road like a month, your tire goes flat. I mean instant, bro. You're walking out my door and suddenly your kidneys fail. Kind of thing. Full of piss and vinegar, and at first you were just full of vinegar. It's all from the spiritual walk, because you are standing in the spiritual realm right now, whether you realize it or not, and you're in a dimensional fold to where everything exists around you simultaneously. So if you're going to message me and ask me how I did it, I went through quite literal hell to get where I'm at. And you're welcome to do it. And the people that want to destiny swap or throw shade, dude, you can trade me any day you want to. I will bestow everything I got on you, and then 2 days later, when you can't stand it, I'll happily take it back and hand you a Coke and just tell you told you so. Love you guys.